Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Raymond Ken Mbata. Our top stories. Federal government commissions Enugu Model Vet Hospital, flags off 15,000 cattle ranch. Benue Assembly approves immediate implementation of CONLES for legislative staff. Lagos State government issues final warning to illegal estate development, and on the foreign scene, Russia says no progress on Ukraine peace following Kremlin talks with Trump envoys. And now, the news in details. The federal government has commissioned a new state-of-the-art model veterinary hospital in Enugu under the World Bank-sponsored Livestock Productivity and Resilience Project, days after opening a similar facility in Yola. Performing the launch, Minister of Livestock Development Idi Mukhtar Maiha said that the Renewed Hope agenda is driving rapid expansion of livestock infrastructure, with 7 model vet hospitals completed and 14 more under construction. Enugu Deputy Governor Ifeanyi Osai, representing Governor Peter Mba, praised the project and called for stronger collaboration with Enugu State University to boost training and livestock productivity. Permanent Secretary Dr. Ijoma Akujobi said that the hospital's modern equipment will enhance animal diagnosis, treatment and preventive care, improving food safety and supporting livestock-dependent livelihoods. And ELPRES National Coordinator Dr. Sanusi Abubakar noted the hospital will run a hybrid private-public model to improve sustainability and service coverage. The minister also performed the groundbreaking for a 15,000 cattle integrated ranch in Ubahu, Nkanu East, an initiative expected to shift Enugu towards modern ranching, strengthen the livestock value chain and create jobs, and position the state as a future hub for meat processing and export. The Benue State House of Assembly has approved the immediate implementation of the Consolidated Legislative Salary Structure, CONLES, for staff of the Assembly and its Service Commission. The decision, adopted during Tuesday's plenary led by Speaker Right Honorable Bega Alfred Mbega, follows national standards and PASAN's directive urging states to implement CONLES or face strike action. 2 bills passed second reading: the Labe College of Nursing Science Boko Establishment Bill and the College of Agriculture Mbatie Establishment Bill. The House also lifted the suspension of Right Honorable Michael Audu, who apologized, resigned from the PDP, and defected to the APC. Lawmakers further received a report from the SDGs and Donor Agencies Committee on his visits to the Bureau for International Cooperation and Development. Staying with Benue State, the government on Tuesday joined Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, partners and citizens in a colorful rally across Makurdi to mark the 2025 International Day of Persons with Disability. The march, supported by Ministry of Women Affairs, the Rehabilitation Board and BICD, called for stronger inclusion and celebrated the passage of the Benue State Disability Rights Law. At the State Assembly, Majority Leader Honorable Thomas Dugeri reaffirmed lawmakers' commitment to the law's implementation, while Attorney General Professor Yangen Ongoga, representing the governor, pledged continued government support. Jonah PUD leaders thanked the government and urged sustained collaboration. The rally also built momentum for Benue State Multisectoral Disability Summit, holding on the 3rd of December. Nigeria has launched a 4-day workshop in Lagos to strengthen the fight against human trafficking, increasingly carried out through social media, encrypted apps, and digital payments. Organized by ICMPD and NAPTIP under the Netherlands-funded TIPVAP NG project, the training targets instigators and prosecutors from Lagos and Ogun states. NAPTIP DG Hajia Binta El Adamu Bello says traffickers now use technology as a weapon, stressing the need for law enforcement to adopt. And the Lagos Attorney General Lawal Pedro pledged government support, while Netherlands Consul General Michael Deelin called for a shared responsibility in protecting vulnerable people. The workshop includes case studies, practical cyber exercises aimed at improving investigations, enhancing collaborations, and increasing successful prosecutions.
Yes, from what you have told us, you have proved yourself to be a nation within a nation. And I'm excited about your bottom-up approach to trafficking that you have directed for desk officers and all the local governments and what do you call the
LCDA.
And LCDAs in the states. You have become a pioneer in our discussion for a very long time with the National Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGO. We met severally and we agreed that every state will have a desk officer in all the 774 local government area councils in Nigeria. The outcome of such exercise will reduce trafficking to a minimum without months, not even years, but months, because every vulnerable person, I don't want to say victim, like the ambassador said, they are not victims in Nigeria until they return to Nigeria. But in Nigeria, they are vulnerable persons. And they all come from a local government. Like every one of us here came from a local government. So these activities starts from every local government, every community, every village. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Lagos State government is committed to ending human trafficking. And we have noticed that human trafficking is also more of international, interstate, we've seen so many. And that's why, of recent, you all recall, we have to host the first African colloquium on human trafficking in Lagos State, in partnership, collaboration with our partners, which is the Pepperdine University in California. And that, we are still reviewing the outcome of that program, and we intend to forge ahead to ensure all recommendations are implemented in Lagos and by extension in Nigeria.
I have met with quite a lot of victims of human trafficking in Nigeria, basically those who came back. And I use the word victims because they in the end, they are the victims. But in the beginning of the process, in many cases, they're not victims because they are the ones who actually reach out to those who organize these routes. Because they either dream of greener pastures or they have other reasons to move out of Nigeria.
I extend a warm welcome to all of you to this official opening of the 4-day capacity building workshop for investigators and prosecutors from NAPTIP and related law enforcement agencies in Ogun and other states. This workshop is delivered under the Building an Environment Free of Human Trafficking and Violence Against Persons in Nigeria (TIGA) project implemented by ICPD with the financial support from the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
And on to matters concerning the Police Department. Selection Board promotion exercise for police inspectors has commenced at the Zone 2 Command Headquarters, Onikon, Lagos, in line with Inspector General of Police's IGP Kayode Gbetokun's commitment to personnel welfare and career growth. The exercise, running through December 5th, covers all eligible inspectors in Lagos and Ogun commands and is supervised by AIG Adegoke Fayoade. Addressing participants, the AIG congratulated them and urged professionalism, stressing that the process will remain merit-based and transparent. He also warned against misconduct or bribery. Deputy Commissioners of Police DCP Bello Adamu and DCP Olubode Fakeye are assisting in the process. The Nigerian Police Force says the exercise reinforces its dedication to rewarding competence and strengthening a motivated workforce. Staying with crime stories, the Anambra State Police Command has arrested one Oluchukwu Anyuaku after a viral video shows him allegedly threatening to destroy all police formations in Obosi, Idemili North local government area. Officers from Obosi Division tracked and arrested the suspect on the 2nd of December 2025, recovering a firearm and a cutlass from him. Initial observations suggest that he may require medical evaluation. The case has been transferred to the state CID, Awka, for detailed investigation. The commandant of the National Defense College, Rear Admiral Abdullahi Ahmed, has appealed to TETFund for support to strengthen the college's research capacity and updates its curriculum to address emerging security threats and the growing influence of artificial intelligence. He made the request during a visit to TETFund's Executive Secretary Sonny Echono, where both institutions signed an MOU covering new areas of collaboration. Rear Admiral Ahmed said the college is undertaking a major curriculum review to integrate AI, sharpen strategic thinking, and improve policy training. He also sought TETFund's sponsorship for NDC's journals and research outputs. Echono affirmed TETFund's commitment to supporting the NDC, noting the college's critical role in national security and advanced research. He said TETFund has expanded its research interventions to include the military and intelligence sector, recognizing the global impact of defense-led innovations. He also highlighted his long-standing involvement with the NDC infrastructure projects and pledged continued support to help the college drive innovation and enhance the military's contribution to national development. Moving on to health stories, Niger State has 34,969 people living with HIV/AIDS, with 30,542 achieving virological suppression, and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Secondary and Tertiary Health, Abdullahi Imam, announced during World AIDS Day commemorations. Between January and October 2025, 208,492 individuals were counseled, tested, and received results, with 2,642 testing positive, currently receiving treatments. The state's HIV prevalence rate is 0.7%, among the lowest in north-central Nigeria and below the national average. Additionally, 195,115 pregnant women attending antenatal clinics were tested, with 86 testing positive and linked to treatment services. The Lagos State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has urged Nigerians to disregard what it calls needless drama and politically motivated hysteria over recent withdrawals of police escorts from VIPs. In a statement by the spokesman Mogaji Sheye Oladejo, the party emphasized that the policy is a routine administrative measure aimed at restoring professionalism within the Nigerian police force and refocusing its mandate on protecting the general public, not privileged individuals. The APC condemned opposition figures for politicizing the issue, describing their reactions as driven by entitlement and a desire for relevance. The party praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Inspector General of Police for pushing reforms that prioritize national security and community policing. The statement clarified that constitutionally mandated security details remain unaffected, and the move targets only the misuse of police personnel for private purposes. Lagos APC reiterated its support for ongoing security reforms and warned that efforts to politicize the changes are baseless and counterproductive. We'll take a pause here, and up next are news stories from the build sector. Stay with us. Welcome back, and glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the hour. And now to the build sector. Lagos State government has issued a final one-week warning to estate developers operating within approved layout plans following the expiration of a grace period to regularize their planning documents. Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Oluyinka Olumide, led a sensitization exercise across the Etiosa corridor on Tuesday, emphasizing that developments violating planning regulations will face sanctions ranging from fines to demolition after the deadline. Dr. Olumide urged the public, especially prospective buyers, to verify estate planning status before purchase to avoid losses. The enforcement team visited estates including White Oak Estate 2 and Elite Garden Estate behind VGC. The government reiterated its commitment to enforcing planning laws for sustainable urban development. Nigeria's housing sector is under pressure as surging rents, unregulated development, and a growing housing deficit demand urgent reforms. Akintoye Adeoye, president of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, highlighted challenges including fraudulent developers, bureaucratic land bottlenecks, high financial costs, and reliance on imported materials. He urged enforcement of professional ethics, activation of Real Estate Regulatory Council, and collaboration with Nigerians in diaspora to protect investors and boost development. Residential rents in Lagos have soared by 80 to 100%, severely impacting low and middle income families. Real estate expert Ganiu Idris advised prioritizing proximity to workplaces to mitigate commuting burdens. The Nigeria Institute of Architects warned against unlicensed practitioners compromising building safety, stressing the need for stronger regulatory oversight and professionalization in the sector. Experts agree that addressing Nigeria's housing crisis requires coordinated government policies, private sector investments, and improved professional standards. Key reforms include streamlining land processes, recapitalizing mortgage institutions, promoting local building materials, and expanding affordable housing. Sustainable urban development and economic stability depend on Nigeria's ability to deliver safe, affordable, and quality housing for its growing population. And on the foreign scene, Russia and the United States failed to reach a compromise on a peace deal for Ukraine after a 5-hour meeting at the Kremlin between President Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump's envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. Putin's aide Yuri Ushakov said no agreements were made and some U.S. proposals were rejected. Talks extended past midnight, with Witkoff briefing the White House afterwards, and no meeting between Putin and Trump is planned yet, but Ushakov described the talks as constructive, highlighting potential for economic cooperation between the two countries. And that's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. But before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Federal government commissions Enugu Model Vet Hospital, flags up 15,000 cattle ranch, and Benue Assembly approves immediate implementation of CONLES for legislative staff. Lagos State government issues final warning to illegal estate developments, and on the foreign scene, Russia says no progress on Ukraine peace following Kremlin talks with Trump envoys. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. I am Raymond Ken Mbata. Bye for now.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.